So now talking about immunity. Every day we are exposed to a large number of infectious agents. However, only a few of these exposures result in disease. Why? This is due to the fact that the body is able to defend itself from most of these foreign agents. This overall ability of the host to fight the disease causing organisms conferred by the immune system is called immunity. So, immunity is of two types: innate immunity and acquired immunity. Innate immunity. Innate immunity is non-specific type of defense that is present at the time of birth. This is accomplished by providing different types of barriers to the entry of the foreign agents in our body. Innate immunity consists of four types of barriers. These are physical barrier, physiological barrier, cellular barrier, and cytokine barriers. So, physical barriers. Skin on our body is the main barrier which prevents the entry of the microorganisms. Mucus coating of the epithelium lining the respiratory, gastrointestinal, and urogenital tracts also help in trapping microbes entering our body. Physiological barriers: acid in the stomach, saliva in the mouth, tears from eyes, all prevent microbial growth. Cellular barriers: certain types of leukocytes, WBCs, of our body like polymorphonuclear leukocytes, PMNL, neutrophils, and monocytes, and natural killer type of lymphocytes in the blood, as well as macrophages in tissues, can phagocytose and destroy microbes. So, cytokine barriers. Virus infected cells secrete proteins called interferons which prevent the non infected cells from further viral infection. Acquired immunity. Acquired immunity, on the other hand, is pathogen specific. It is characterized by memory. This means when our body encounters a pathogen for the first time, it produces a response called primary response, which is of low intensity. Subsequent encounter with the same pathogen elicits a highly intensified secondary or amnestic response. This is ascribed to the fact that our body appears to have memory of the first encounter. The primary and secondary immune responses are carried out with the help of the two special types of lymphocytes present in our blood, that is B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes produce an army of proteins in response to pathogens in our blood to fight with them. These proteins are called antibodies. The T cells themselves do not secrete antibodies but help B cells to produce them. Each antibody molecule has 4 peptide chains, 2 small called light chains and 2 longer called heavy chains. Hence, an antibody is represented as H2L2. Different types of antibodies are produced in our body. IgA, IgM, IgE, IgG are some of them. A cartoon of an antibody is given in figure 7.4. Because these antibodies are found in the blood, the response is called as humoral immune response. This is one of the two types of or acquired immune response, antibody mediated. The second type is called cell mediated immune response or cell mediated immunity. The T lymphocytes mediate cell mediated immunity. Very often, when some human organs like heart, eye, liver, kidney fail to function satisfactorily, transplantation is the only remedy to enable the patient to live a normal life. Then a search begins to find a suitable donor. Why is it that the organs cannot be taken from just anybody? Why? What is that? The doctors check grafts from just any source. An animal, another primate, or any human beings cannot be made since the grafts would be rejected sooner or later. Tissue matching, blood group matching are essential before undertaking any graft transplant, and even after this, the patient has to take immunosuppressants all his life. The body is able to differentiate self and non self, and the cell mediated immune response is responsible for the graft rejection. सो एक्वायर्ड इम्यूनिटी में ह्यूमरल इम्यून रिस्पॉन्स है जो एंटीबॉडी मीडिएटेड बोलते हैं, इट इज़ टी लिम्फोसाइट से होता है। एंड सेल मीडिएटेड इम्यूनिटी इस टी लिम्फोसाइट से होता है एंड ट्रांसप्लांटेशन एंड ग्राफ्ट रिजेक्शन में हेल्प करता है। और बॉडी का ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है सेल्फ एंड नॉन सेल्फ को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए इस बेसिस पर टी लिम्फोसाइट काम करता है। नाउ द एक्टिव एंड पैसिव इम्यूनिटी. So when a host is exposed to antigens, which may be in the form of living or dead microbes or other proteins, antibodies are produced in the host body. This type of immunity is called active immunity. Active immunity is slow and takes time to give its full effective response. Injecting the microbes deliberately during immunization or infectious organisms gaining access into body during natural infection induce active immunity. When ready-made antibodies are directly given to the protect the body against foreign agents, it is called passive immunity. Do you know why mother's milk is considered very essential for the newborn infant? The yellowish fluid colostrum secreted by the mother during the initial days of lactation has abundant IgA to protect the infant. The fetus also receives some antibodies from their mother through the placenta, IgG, during pregnancy. So these are common examples of passive immunity. Vaccination and immunization. The principle of immunization or vaccination is based on the property of memory of the immune system. In vaccination or preparation of antigenic proteins of pathogen or inactivated or weakened pathogen means vaccine are introduced into the body. The antibodies produced in the body against these antigens would neutralize the pathogenic agents during actual infection. The vaccines also generate memory B and T cells that recognize the pathogen quickly on subsequent exposure and overwhelm the invaders with a massive production of antibodies. If a person is infected with some deadly microbes to which quick immune response is required, as in tetanus, we need to directly inject the performed antibodies or antitoxin, a preparation containing antibodies to the toxin. Even in cases of snake bites, the injection which is given to the patients contain performed antibodies against the snake venom. This type of immunization is called passive immunization. Recombinant DNA technology has allowed the production of antigenic polypeptides of pathogen in bacteria or yeast. Vaccines produced using this approach allow large-scale production and hence greater availability for immunization. Example, hepatitis B virus vaccine produced from yeast. Now allergies. When you have gone to a new place and suddenly you started sneezing, wheezing for no explanation, they explained the reason, and when you went away, your symptoms disappeared. Did this happen to you? Some of us are sensitive to some particles in the environment. The above mentioned reaction could be because of allergy to pollens, mites, etc., which are different in different places. The exaggerated response of the immune system to certain antigens present in the environment is called allergy. The substances to which such an immune response is produced are called allergens. The antibodies produced to these are of IgE types. Common examples of allergens are mites in dust, pollen, animal dander, etc. Symptoms of allergic reactions including sneezing, watery eyes, running nose, and difficulty in breathing. Allergy is due to the release of chemicals like histamine and serotonin from the mast cells. For determining the cause of allergy, the patient is exposed to or injected with very small doses of possible allergens, and the reaction is studied. The use of drugs like antihistamine, adrenaline, and steroids quickly reduce the symptoms of allergy. Somehow, modern day lifestyle has resulted in lowering of immunity and more sensitivity to allergens. More and more children in metro cities of India suffer from allergies and asthma due to sensitivity to the environment. This could be because of the protected environment provided early in life. Now, autoimmunity. Memory based acquired immunity evolved in higher vertebrates based on the ability to differentiate foreign organisms, example pathogens, from self cells. While we still do not understand the basis of this, two corollaries of this ability have to be understood. One, higher vertebrates can distinguish foreign molecules as well as foreign organisms. Most of the experimental immunology deals with this aspect. 2. Sometimes, due to genetic and other unknown reasons, the body attacks self cells. This results in damage to the body and is called autoimmune disease. Rheumatoid arthritis, which affects many people in our society, is an autoimmune disease. Immune system in the body. The human immune system consists of lymphoid organs, tissues, cells, and soluble molecules like antibodies. As you have read, immune system is unique in the sense that it recognizes foreign ancient antigens, responds to these, and remembers them. The immune system also plays an important role in allergic reactions, autoimmune diseases, and organ transplantation. So, lymphoid organs. These are the organs where origin and maturation and proliferation of lymphocytes occur. The primary lymphoid organs are bone marrow and thymus, where immature lymphocytes differentiate into antigen sensitive lymphocytes. After maturation, the lymphocytes migrate to the secondary lymphoid organs like spleen, lymph nodes, tonsils, Peyer's patches of small intestine, and appendix. The secondary lymphoid organs provide the sites for interaction of lymphocytes with the antigens, which then proliferate to become effector cells. The location of various lymphoid organs in the human body is shown in this figure. The bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ where all the blood cells, including lymphocytes, are produced. The thymus is a lobed organ located near the heart and beneath the breastbone. The thymus is quite large at the time of birth but keeps reducing in size with age, and by the time puberty is attained, it reduces to a very small size. Both bone marrow and thymus provide microenvironments for the development and maturation of T lymphocytes. The spleen is a large bean-shaped organ. It mainly contains lymphocytes and phagocytes. It acts as a filter of the blood by trapping blood-borne microorganisms. Spleen also has a large reservoir of erythrocytes. The lymph nodes are small solid structures located at different points along the lymphatic system. Lymph nodes serve to trap the microorganisms or other antigens which happen to get into the lymph and tissue fluid. Antigens trapped in the lymph nodes are responsible for the activation of lymphocytes, present there and cause the immune response. There is lymphoid tissue also located within the lining of the major tracts, respiratory, digestive, urogenital tracts called mucosa associated lymphoid tissue MALT. MALT constitutes about 50% of the lymphoid tissue in human body.